Sophia and welcome to my channel.
Hello guys and welcome to this week's Sketchbook Sunday. This week the topic as chosen by you guys is designing a rival. If you want to choose a topic for next week's video, you can vote for one of your favourites up here. Don't worry, all the topics will be done. I just like to see what your favourites are first. If you have any suggestions for topics you would like me to cover in future videos, leave a comment in the section down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Today I'm using a sketchbook from Tiger. I haven't had a chance to really use it yet because I've been really busy this week with convention prep, but I haven't got really much thoughts on it yet because I haven't really had much of a chance to play with it. I'll be using some WH Smith pencils for sketching, and of course I've got my drink. So as always, grab your sketchbook, grab your pencils, maybe a drink, and as always, let's discuss. So you've made your character and you want to design a rival. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to think about what is your rival's goal. Do they have a very similar thing to what your character is? For example, in my Plant Witch story, Lavender is Marie's rival, and the reason why Lavender is Marie's rival is because they're both working towards the same goal. They want to be the best there ever was. Pokemon reference. They want to be the best at what they do, and of course your rival needs to have weaknesses as well as strengths that your character doesn't really have. So when you're designing a rival, I'm going to keep on saying, mixing up my words here. When you want to design a rival, I would think about how opposite can you make them to your character. So it tends to be, if you're designing a good character tends to have lots of round shapes to show not only their innocence but to show that they are good. Or if you're designing a strong character, they tend to have slightly more angular shapes, but an evil character or a rival will tend to have more angular shapes to them. So a good character, I would always do softer, rounder shapes, and a more evil character, I would design harsher shapes. So when I'm thinking about the face, I'm always thinking about how can I design my rival. Not necessarily an evil character, but I just want to design someone who looks the opposite of another character. So when I was doing Lavender, what I was thinking about how could I make her look more different in comparison to Marie. And the way for me to do that was for me to create more sharper shapes, not only in her features but also in her facial construction as well, and the clothes that she wears. Marie wears very earthy tones and Lavender wears very clean, elegant looking colours, and I would say that Marie is literally down to earth, whereas Lavender is uptight. You have to think about, when you're designing a rival, like what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses? What are they good against that your character may not be good against? Think about like good rivalries that happen in any of your series that you watch, read, or anything like that. A good rivalry shows the character not necessarily they can be mean, they can be spiteful, they can be good. It's all about how opposite they are or how familiar they are to your other character. So some really good looks of rivalry. For example, if you look at the Pokemon series, Gary is considered Ash's rival. He is a little bit mean-spirited, but overall they're both working towards the same goal. They're both working to be a Pokemon master. That's what they want to do. And even though Gary may come across as a spiteful character, he still does have some good in him in the Pokemon series. And it's just one of those that you've got to think about when you are designing your character. What makes your good character good and what makes your rival character bad? Or if you're doing a character who's not necessarily good, who may be evil, you need them to have a rival which kind of bests them but is weak against them at the same time. Good rivalries in any good series, they play on opposites of each other, but they also play on a lot of similarities as well. And that's kind of something that you want to do. So I would say if I was designing a rival, I would choose opposites of the person's character. So Marie, let's just do a very quick picture of Marie. Is very good-natured, she's always smiling, always looks super happy, has like lots of round features. She also has this wild mess of untamed hair, which you know, isn't necessarily the tidiest. She's clumsy. She has a wonderful pet that she absolutely loves, and she is overall just seems very good-natured and very happy in general. So when I was thinking about designing Lavender and her characteristics and what could I do to make her seem the opposite of Marie and show that they'd have a good rivalry against each other, I was thinking about the facial construction for one. So I was thinking about, okay, so Marie has quite a round face. Marie looks quite young for her age. She's about 17 and Lavender's roughly about the same age as well. They're both very similar in the aspect that they both want to be an excellent plant, which they both want to succeed in what they do. But the major differences is that while Marie always is happy-go-lucky, she's very positive, Lavender is very calculating. So with Lavender, I gave her slightly sharper features. I made her look her face much slimmer than Marie's. Hello, Bella. And she dresses almost quite a lot more elegantly than Marie. Marie's sort of like, sorry, it's hard to talk and draw. Marie is very, her clothing, she's always forever dirty, she's always forever, you know, in her element with her work, so to speak, whereas like Lavender is always very clean and precise. So that's when I was thinking of their rivalry. I was trying to think, how are they similar, but at the same time, how are they very different? It's very hard to draw and talk at the same time. But when you're thinking, like I'm going to keep on reiterating the same points because I think it's very important. Like, you've got to think about how your characters' similarities and their differences would put their rivalry against each other. So if you've got a very good-natured character and you've got another person who's quite good-natured but with a slightly mean-spirited attitude, think about like if you just think about the good series that you watch and why did this rivalry work? Break it down into simple steps. Okay, what are their similarities but what are their differences? Why are they against each other? Why are they rivals against each other? And you'll find that their rivalry makes a lot more sense because they gel and clash quite often. When you have people with very similar personalities or people with very opposite personalities, they tend to clash quite a bit, and that's what causes a good rivalry. And it also helps build up your story and build up your characters and overall makes for an interesting plot. I hope this video has helped in some way, shape or form. I really do like to talk about the building up a story in a universe, and if you guys are interested in more videos like this, please do let me know. If you've drawn anything in this video, obviously you've probably done a lot more than I did, tag me in Instagram, on Twitter, or leave a link down below. Feel free to share your work. Use the hashtag #StayCreativeWithSophia. I really love seeing what you guys do, and you guys have been doing amazingly. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Maybe like, comment, subscribe. But as always, folks, stay creative. Bye.